That's a pretty big red flag. So let's go through what you told me. You've been romantic with him for 6 months right now. And you recently moved in with him after just 6 months. You've been friends for a long time. But this is significant, okay? So you moved in with him. Well, I'll get to this in a minute. Probably not a good idea, all right? I've known him for 16 years. He's liked you since high school, but you didn't feel the same way for the longest time. At some point, you guys lost contact after an episode of trying to date, and you dated him, but you weren't into it. And you say that you led him on. Okay, maybe, I don't know. You say that, but you didn't give me any evidence that you led him on. You just like, here's this guy who's liked you for so long. Probably his like liking you energy is always like pushing up against you, and you're like, okay. It didn't sound like, yeah, it just sounded like it was very much coming from him, and finally you sort of gave in. You dated him, but you weren't sure about him, and then you're like, I led him on. You're saying you were immature. I don't know. Well, maybe you just, maybe you were young and immature at the time, and maybe you decided to date him even though you sort of knew it was never going to work out. So, lesson learned. Most of us have done that before. It's okay. But I guess, it probably hurt him a lot, but that's okay. That's part of what's involved in dating. When people are very damaged, or have serious issues going on, dating and then getting rejected by the person you date can be devastating, but that doesn't make the person who rejected you a bad person. Most dating arrangements are going to result in a breakup, instigated by one person or the other. That's the deal. So I want to just first give you permission to completely put down this idea that you did something bad by dating your friend who really liked you all this time and then realizing, you couldn't do it. But then you had cancer, and I'm really sorry, and sounds like you're through it now. I hope you are. And he reached out and apologized. And so you guys started talking, and it turns out he was struggling with alcoholism and going to rehab. So he got to the point where he lost 3 jobs in a year. So pretty bad dysfunction going on there. And when he reached out, you felt overwhelmed by his issues and tried to show support but not get entangled because you were fragile from going through cancer. So I'm so proud of you actually for caring about your, giving yourself space. It sounds like you weren't able to do it in the end, but you do know that you need that having survived cancer, that intense stress is like the worst thing for you. You need love, support, peace, good nutritious food, right? Just the good things.